Okay. All right. It looks like it is now recording. Okay. So just again, to restate, this meeting is being recorded and will be made available on our website. Appreciate those that have taken time out of their day to join us. I guess introductions are probably due here. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Michael Drake. I'm the Assistant State Engineer over Adjudication. Also with us are a few other employees with Utah Division of Water Rights. We have, I'll introduce our team lead over this, and that's John Bream. He'll help me monitor the comments and kick me if I forget something. That's we'll kind of forego the other employees in the office. But why are we here today? So we're here. This is a public meeting for the West Murray Subdivision for the proposed determination, and so that's what we're here for. And let's talk a little bit about what we're going to cover today. First, I wanted to address this statement and the reason that we're holding this meeting electronically, as you're all aware of the COVID-19 pandemic. This statement will kind of be made available on the record, but we're holding this to conform to the governor's guidelines on large gatherings. So as far as the agenda, this is what we'll go over today. We're going to review the adjudication process, and then we're going to talk about the proposed determination and what is in it, and we'll address a few different components of it. We're going to talk about the hydrographic survey maps that were also prepared and posted to our website at the same time. And then we'll talk about how you can access the proposed determination and the hydrographic survey maps. And if you have any questions, we'll take some questions at the end. And so with that, we'll go ahead and just jump in. And what we have up here is the adjudication process. And this adjudication in particular started out a long time ago, back in 1944. And that was started with a court order back then. And you'll see a few dates populating on this slide at this point. We served notice that we were beginning the adjudication of the West Murray Subdivision in March of 2018. The summons, public meeting, and notice to file claims all occurred this month as well. And then the list of unclaimed rights was published in October of 2018 with a 90-day period to file an objection following that. A public meeting was held regarding the list of unclaimed rights in November of 2018, and there was one objection to the list of unclaimed rights, and that was resolved later on. And then a decree for the list of unclaimed rights was issued in March of 2019. Final summons was provided in June of 2019, and then since then we've been in the process of evaluating claims in this subdivision. We recently reached a point that we've published the proposed determination for this area, and that occurred, as you are all presumably know, on December 30th of 2020. And we are in the midst of the 90-day period to file an objection. That period ends on March 30th of 2021. And number 14, today we're holding the public meeting. That's where we are right now. So what follows after this is, as I stated, there's a 90-day period to file an objection. We'll talk about how to do that a little bit later. And once that period is elapsed and we have any and all objections before us, we'll enter into a period of resolving those objections. And then ultimately, we're working our way towards an interlocutory decree for this subdivision. So that's generally the process. I know for those that are on the phone, that's probably very confusing to follow. This will be made available on our website later on, but are there any questions on the process, the adjudication process? Okay, so let's move on. Contents of the proposed determination. We'll just We're going to breeze through each of these in more detail, but it has the title page, the notice to water users, a preamble, a location map, a priority schedule, description of water rights, the disallowed rights, and then finally an alphabetic index. So we'll look at each one of those individually. And so the slide you should be seeing right now is the title page. And this the title page has some important information. It identifies the district court that has jurisdiction over this adjudication, which is the Third Judicial District Court. Next, it identifies the general adjudication and the civil case number. That case number is important if you're filing something with the court. It identifies the hydrologic division and subdivision name, which is the West Murray Subdivision in this case. And then it identifies the area and book numbers, and that is area 57, book number 19. Next up is the notice to water users. And this page has some important information as well, as again the civil case number. And then it also includes, importantly, the instructions on filing an objection. Next in the proposed determination is the preamble. This section describes how the state engineer developed this proposed determination and provides greater detail to the various sections of the document. After that is the location map. Let's spend a little bit of time on this just so you can understand where this adjudication is. This area is bounded on the north by about 4100 south, and on the south by 7200 south, which is or Fort Union Boulevard. On the west side, it's bounded by the Jordan River. And then on the east side, in the north part, it's bounded by State Street with a little jog further to the north. And then on a little bit further south into this subdivision, it's bounded on the east by 7th East. So that's the approximate area we're looking at. You can see that roughly we have I-15 and I-215 running right through the middle of it. So if you can imagine that area either side, north and south, east and west of that, that approximately describes the area. Next in the proposed determination is the priority schedule. This section lists each of the water rights by source in order of priority date. And thus you'll find the water source and the priority date, the quantity of water, either in flow rate or volume, and the water right number and owner of record. Next comes the description of water rights. And each water right has a listing that has some common features at the top, and they include the following. The water right number is listed, the ownership, the type of right and quantity of water, and then also the priority date and the source. And then for each water right, we describe the point of diversion location. If it's a well, there's some well data that's listed here as well. After the point of diversion, this brings us to the beneficial use part of the beneficial use portion of the water right. This is where things can get a little confusing. Each water right is shown in a water use group. These are the water rights that jointly work to provide for the beneficial use as shown below. Presently, we're looking at a water right owned by Midvale City, which is used for irrigation, stock watering, and domestic purposes. And for each one of these water uses, these beneficial uses, we describe the period of use. And here you can see that the water right is listed in a water use group with one other water right, and it has a sole supply of 11.592 acres for a group total of 12.88 acres. The next piece of information you'll see on each water right is the place of use. And these are described by section, township, and range. And then next to this, you'll see a matrix. This matrix represents the quarter sections in each section. and the various quarter sections representing this water use group's place of use. And then the total irrigated acreage in each section is also described at the far right. So that brings to a close the description of the rights. So the next section of the proposed determination is the forfeited rights. And these are listed with similar information to what we've seen previously. It describes the water right number, the name of the owner of record, and the points of diversion and the source. And following that is a list of the invalid claims in the proposed determination. And again, they are listed by water right number, by the name of owner of record, and then the points of diversion and the source are described. And then finally, we have an alphabetic index, which helps you find your way around the proposed determination. And here you'll find the name of the owner of record, the point of diversion source, the water right number, and then the page where you'll find that water right number listed. So moving on, together with the proposed determination, we've published the hydrographic survey maps for this area. What you see here is an excerpt from the hydrographic survey maps. And off to the left-hand side, you'll see the various information, north arrow, scales, map legends, the map location. That's common on each of the sheets in the hydrographic survey map set. But if you look a little bit closer, and I know it's a little hard on this Google Meet, but you will also see that points of diversion are listed and shown in these maps. You'll see the subdivision boundary lines. You'll see irrigated areas. You'll also see sections and quarter sections and quarter sections. And that's definitely one you need to check out later if you're interested. A little hard to see on this screen, I know, and I apologize for that. Okay, finally, we're reaching the end here, but let's talk about accessing the proposed determination. When we published the proposed determination on December 30th, we sent notice to each of the following groups. And for those that don't have a screen, those groups are water right owners listed on the records of the state engineer. We also sent notice to claimants who submitted claims in the West Murray adjudication. We also sent notice to registered agents for corporate entities that own water rights or have filed claims within the adjudication boundary, and then also to counsels of record who have filed an appearance in the court. But for all others, the proposed determination can be accessed via some links that we've posted up online. For those that are on the phone, maybe it's best if I give you my email address on the next page. I'll read that out for your use, and you can access this. I can either send you the link, or you can access this presentation separately. But the proposed determination can be found. It's also filed at the court. Hard copies can be printed at our office for a nominal fee. And then similarly, the hydrographic survey map can be accessed online, and hard copies can be viewed in our office. So with that, we're reaching the end of this this presentation, our public meeting. Now on the screen, I have my contact information, and for those that are on the phone, you can contact me at my email address is michaeldrake@utah.gov. That's M-I-C-H-A-E-L, Drake, D-R-A-K-E, @utah.gov. And for those that have a screen, you can also contact Gary Brimley, who is my assistant in the adjudication section. His email address is garybrimley@utah.gov. So with that, we'll open it up to any questions that anyone might have. And we're happy to answer them, do the best we can to answer them anyway. Okay.
Mike,
Yes, Gary.
the Google Meet software online automatically mutes telephone callers. If they have a question on the telephone, they would want to press *6, I believe is the combo. *6.
Yep, and I've spoken with the individual on the phone, so we know that we can hear them, and so I'm presuming that there's no questions.
Okay.
No questions. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we'll go ahead and bring this meeting to a close. Thank you very much for those that tuned in, figuratively speaking, and participated with us today. Feel free to email us or call us with any questions you might have that you want to bring up separately to this. But again, we appreciate your attendance, and we'll go ahead and close the public meeting. Thank you.